Hello, I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and Other Home Energies. What you're looking here is the inside bucket to a bucket garden. Right down here we have just a regular old clear, flexible plastic cup with holes in it and a bunch of holes drilled in the bottom. A hole drilled to the size of the PVC here. And notice that slides right out, and one more bucket down in the bottom. When these come together, there's a gap right about from here to here. That's where this bucket is, and that's down here. And we figured out where the bottom of the bucket was and came up an inch, and we drilled a hole through both sides. In order to get that to line up, we make sure that we draw a mark on it, line everything up first. Now, this is above the bottom of the top bucket where it comes down. And we're going to fill this up with dirt. Fill this up. This wicks from the bottom. And go ahead and pull it up and take a look. You see how this sticks out the bottom into the reservoir at the bottom. This will be all water down here. All these holes here is where the roots want to come down and seek your water. So you can get the best of growing in dirt and hydroponics. This PVC is cut at an angle so the water will flow and not get stopped up at the bottom. Then we fill it up with dirt. I found the easy way to do this is to set this top bucket on the side over here with the PVC on the side and that in the middle. Then we go ahead and fill her up with your dirt, bring it up about that close to the top, go ahead and push it to the side, put your plant in. Then you want to get your lid. Now I've figured these lids here screw on. I started 180 degrees from where the pipe is over here. I put this hole over here. You want to pull the leaves and the branches to your plant up through the hole. And then turn this all the way around to the other side. There'll be dirt in here. And that'll keep the PVC from sliding. Now you got your dirt and your plant and everything. And you pick her up. And you set her down inside. And you make sure these holes line up. Now just a couple tips on building these. When you go to cut these holes, we use this hole saw right here in reverse. Run it in reverse. There's a small nipple in the middle that you have to sit there and just kind of break it off or whatever, and then you can put your drill tip in it and you can get it center. Center doesn't really matter to the plants, but we like it looking sweet. By going backwards, it doesn't leave a bunch of heavy shavings like down there. And the same thing down at the bottom. You just got to sit there and measure up on your cup to how far the cup's going to be sitting down, and go buy your hole saw for that. And that's basically the only expense other than the PVC. We got ours basically 10 foot. This one's cut longer than the other ones. We got them cut down here, and we can get 8 out of a 10-foot piece of PVC. So that's not too bad. These were chlorine buckets for pools. Oh, anyway, we just take a deep breath, open the top, because if you try to breathe the air inside that bucket, it'll knock you for a loop. It'll take the oxygen right out of you. That's what chlorine does. It keeps the blood from absorbing oxygen. So you can be panting in nice fresh air and not getting any oxygen into your blood. Pretty dangerous. So anyway, the dust in the bottom, when you first open these, you want to make sure that you got a nice good breath of air. And then I rinse them out with the hose and fill them up with water and let them sit for 24 hours. It absorbs the rest of the chlorine, and then it goes up into the air, just like when you sit there and save water for your garden. You take it out of the faucet, you leave it outside there for 24 hours before you water your plants. That way the chlorine leaves the water and goes up into the atmosphere. Now we've already watered this, and we got a plant ready to go into her. We're going to try one of these with just fresh seeds out of tomato. I heard you can do that. You don't have to let them dry out. There's a finished bucket garden and all set out. I got a couple at home. The thing about these, you water it right down the tube here. And you can hear it run up. First time I water the inside and the and down through the tube. Later on you can cut a small hole in the bottom and put a fish tank bubbler down in the bottom, and that'll agitate the water down there. Now you see down the side here, all of a sudden, pour some more in there, Kenny. See down the side here, you see the water coming out. This keeps you from overwatering your plant. Okay, that's good. Or underwatering your plant. That's why you want these lines here to line up. The excess water will come out. If the water gets low, that cup in the center will wick it up and keep your soil just right. And in the meantime, when the roots get all the way down to the bottom, they'll get down and they'll be seeking the water at the bottom. And then you can start your hydroponic stage of them, and that's when they really take off. Very neat way to do these things. I'm looking forward. I got 2 plants at home I already did. Within a week's time, they went from 6 inches tall. They're now right at about 2 foot tall above the top of the bucket. I'm very pleased with them. And one more thing, if you really get bored, if you see all this here where we got all this wonderful dirt, all these rocks, this is basically what we got. Big chunks of rock. That over there is about right at 6 foot tall in the corner, and all the way around on over to here. A lot of work. There's some of it you can't see where it curls around. It goes around like this, right up to about there, and it starts staving down. We're going to go around a little farther with it. This is all Kenny Cox's work. Not one bit of mud or cement. His little miniature Zen garden. I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and Other Home Energies. There's our seeds. That's what's going in the bucket. Just like that. Okay, well, we planted this one day after the 4th. It was actually a warm day. And it is now the 11th. And back up here. Get you a nice view around here. And you can see the piece of PVC right down here where you fill it. And down below it is the hole. It's actually about an inch above the bottom of the inside bucket. Okay, here we are with the plant. When we planted this plant, this was on the 4th, it's now the 11th. First thing we did was like take off this, break that off, break off, till it's halfway up. And then you sink that down inside the soil, so your roots are all the way at the bottom actually. But every place where you break one of these branches off, it makes off new roots, and that fills the top section. And those will go down and get down to them holes in the bottom. This is doubled in, this is how tall it was when we bought it. And we took all the pieces off the side and the roots came in, so we buried it only halfway up. It was only this tall, and now it's this tall, and I like it. I've got 2 more at home that I put in about a week or 2 before, and one of them's already got maters on it. That's the cherry maters. The other ones will take a little bit longer. I'm Scott Brown with Green Wind and Other Home Energies.